All right. And we are live, guys. How's it going, everybody? How you guys doing this evening?
Pretty good, man. What about
you guys doing good?
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad. What's you guys all wearing, wrist check?
I have Chris, you'll recognize this one.
Okay, nice. The Pepsi, yeah.
Yeah. This used to be Chris's.
Yep.
I have it on
Bobby, what you wearing?
I got I'm wearing the Mudmaster still.
Sorry, George. Nice.
No, I have it on that Crafter blue. I have it on that
nice.
Blue.
How do you like those traps? Are they pretty nice? I don't have the experience with them. Nice. What about you, Clive? What are you wearing tonight?
Actually, I'm just wearing the Apple Watch Series 6 tonight.
Okay. Of course, you see I'm wearing the 1505 here.
Still, huh?
Oh,
still.
Lobby DOS.
Yeah.
Someone has a Rolex.
But what's going on, everybody? We got Bruce, Blue Shirt Buddha. We got J City Reviews, Nathan Bellman, The Big Wrist. We got Howdy from Texas, Tennessee Mike. I saw Urban Country in the comments earlier, and a couple other people here, guys. But basically, what I was going to talk about tonight, there was a couple things I want to talk about. And I don't know if you guys saw. I showed you guys pictures earlier, I think, of Breitling actually just released a new lineup of women's watches, which I know a lot of guys are here thinking, oh, well, women's watches. But I kind of want to get it into a point, too, because I feel like they're trying to counter the Rolex, the OP market, just from the looks, aesthetics. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like they're trying to counter the OP market, and where I think they did great, and I think it's great that they're coming out with women's watches finally, because we are getting more females into the hobby more and more. But I think that what they could have done better is, I feel like they could have done they have a third. I'll show you guys the website here in a minute, but they have a 36, a 34, and a 32 millimeter version, I think. But I think they would have done better if they had made like a 38 millimeter, like a unisex design, and that way both guys and females would be able to wear that and be able to get that. And like I said, the thing with a Breitling, you can actually go in and actually buy it at the AD, and you can usually probably get it at a discount.
Well, I think they need to come up with one specifically for watch enthusiasts and call it the no sex design.
Yeah, that's about right.
But let me see if I can.
Because every time I start talking watches about to my wife, she loses all interest. So no sex.
Oh, I thought you were about to say moisture.
All right, so you guys see that on your screen? Yeah, these are the new these are the new Breitling lineups here, guys. I'm not ignoring the comments. I'm just looking on my end of the screen, so I can only see the screen. So if you guys don't mind answering some comments or questions if you guys want while I'm doing this. But here's the 36. You see is 4,700, and they're not bad looking watches. And then you see the green one there, 4,700, and then they have a white one. And like I said, I feel like if they had gone with the 38 mil. And done in unisex, that would be cool. But like I said, it is cool that I'm not knocking that they're women's watches. I think it's a good thing that Breitling did. It's just I feel like they would do even better, like I said, had they done a 38 mil or a 40 mil and made it a unisex model. What do you guys think? They're not bad looking watches, do you think?
Well, I think 36. I think 36 is probably a good. If you're gonna bring up unisex, it's probably a good size, because 38 is pretty big on most women, anyway. And 40, forget about. So if you're talking about unisex, I think 36 is in my opinion, is the right size. Other than that, I mean, they do look good. Paying MSRP is bananas. I'm sure you can get some sort of discount, or especially on the women's watches. I'm sure they'll be heavily discounted.
Can you click on one, Chris, to zoom in?
Yeah. Let me see if I can. I'll just do this blue one, for example. Here's.
The only reason is because, like, I want to see a
cooperate, of course, but for this 30.
Yeah, so a bunch of guys on the chat said you can wear a 36, or they can wear a 36, and that's true. I mean, I can wear a 36 as well.
My computer doesn't want to cooperate. Is it loaded?
There it
my
goes.
wife
It's
is,
just going.
Okay, there's
my wife
a
is not
close up
working
there.
at 38. All right.
I mean, the design is still like a guy could still wear it.
Yeah.
I'd buy one.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
That's right.
Comment saying, I think that the ladies on the 10 and 2 podcast, that's where I actually found it out. Mike was making that comment earlier. I actually saw it on their Instagram that they had pulled it up. And like I said, I'm not watches. Like I said, it's great that they're finally making ladies watches. It's just a lot that they made it more of a unisex.
Well, like I was telling you before, the a little bit before we went on the air, like I like the Rolex, the Tiffany blue one.
Can you guys,
Yeah, we see it, Chris.
Hello?
Yeah, we see it. Can you hear us?
Technical difficulties.
I think so.
All right.
Okay,
cool.
If you're
Cool, but yeah, like I
this-
said, I just feel like it's a pretty decent release. Say what, Clyde?
Never mind. I think your sound is cutting in and out.
I might have to. Okay, let me. Do I sound better now?
Yeah,
you do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like what I was saying
Am I cutting?
earlier was.
Okay,
I
it
don't
might
wanna
be
sound
that.
like-
Like we got the storm, but
I don't want to sound like your girlfriend, but are you sure it's in all the way?
but what were you saying, George?
Like I like the Tiffany blue one that Rolex has. My wife really likes it,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was telling you a little bit before we went on the air was, I would buy that Tiffany blue one and even that Breitling one, like the same color, if I already had a black one, or a dark blue dial or something like that. I wouldn't want it like as my first Rolex, but I think it would look cool. Something like to wear in the summer and stuff like that. I think it would look really cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, Clive,
And
somebody
who
who owns an OP,
the blue one.
as somebody who owns an OP, Clive, what are your thoughts on the new Breitlings?
They're nice, but one of the nice things about the OP though is that it's the same watch for everyone. It's just different sizes, and to me that sounds like Rolex is a little bit more sure about their product line. It's not like we're having to just Rolex does have some specifically female watches, like the ProMaster however, is about the only one I can really think of. So I think Breitling should have had followed the same strategy. Don't say men's watch or women's watch. Just say this is the reference, and we've got it in men's sizes and lady sizes or unisex sizes. I think,
and again, like George was saying, the 36 too. I mean, a lot of guys can't wrap their heads around 36. They think that's a female size, but I mean, I'm wearing I got a 7.5 inch wrist. This is a vintage 34. Pretty much 34.5 millimeter watch. It fits me just fine.
There we go, lording the Rolex over the rest of us again.
I think Chris, a lot of people
still hunting money with it. Sorry, guys.
That's right.
I think a lot of guys are more open again now to wearing 36. So I don't think that's as big of an issue anymore, and I think that's why they probably didn't go any higher. Breitling did on these sizes if they're claiming unisex, because like I was saying before, my wife can't wear a 38 millimeter or a 40 millimeter. She can wear a 36 millimeter probably, and I could probably wear a 36 millimeter. I mean, I've had 36 millimeter watches and they're fine. So
I have a vintage Smith's that has
Nice.
It's a 34, I think. And it's got, I think, 16 or 17 inch lug width. And I mean, it still looks good. I wear it just because, I don't care. But probably I would go the lowest watch, the lowest size I would go is a 34. a 36 does look really nice. I mean, even my God, I can't remember if my Seamaster is a 36 or a 38. And that looks good. Mm-hmm. I love 36. 36 is an awesome size.
Well, and I hate it, this groupthink, this herd mentality where everyone says uniformly in unison, 36 is too small. It's like, really? Every watch?
No.
Every wrist? I hate that. I despise that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the style of the watch and what it looks like. You know, the 36 Datejust, I think, looks perfectly fine on my wrist, you know. But I think it depends also on the watch. I mean, I could go down to 34. It depends. I mean, the lug is long enough. If it gives that perception that it's bigger than it is, that it doesn't disappear on my wrist, I'm open for any size, you know.
Chris, that Seiko 5 that I bought from you, was a 36 or a 38?
I think that's the 38, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's about the same size of the Orient that you actually got in, Bobby.
Yeah.
I believe. Peter C. saying he thinks the recent growth in the vintage market helps the younger audience accept smaller watches. I think he's probably correct there. Like I feel like
I agree with that.
Like people like Theo and Harris are kind of like popularized, and vintage watches kind of like the hipster crowd, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
The smaller sizes.
Well, and the thing is, my 5066 is only 35 millimeters, and people say it's too small. It's just like, okay, now, if you have a Patek Philippe with lume on it, that's a bigger size, you can step up to the plate. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Howdy from Texas is saying that he'd say 36 is a classic size, 40 is more modern size, yeah, and then 42 is oversized.
But
I mean, it depends on the lug to lug on a 42, you know.
Or
I mean, if you have a 42 with a lug to 48, that's perfectly fine for me. You know?
Like a lot of Seikos, for instance, like the Patty, they wear, you know, they're bigger dimensions, but they wear a lot smaller than they are too.
Right.
Sorry, Cloud, what were you saying?
Well, I actually, and what Bobby Like said, the last couple words he said in that sentence is the one I most agree with, for me.
Yeah.
Because it also makes a difference. Are you wearing it as a sports watch? Are you wearing it as a casual watch? Or are you wearing it as a dress watch? Completely different look styles, different expectations for those basic styles of watches. Like, you've got the classic 36 millimeter Explorer and you've got the 39 millimeter Explorer. I think the 39 is like a dressy sports watch, and the 36 is almost like a sporty dress watch.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that's why making a blanket statement, you know, as we all have been guilty of doing, right?
Oh, no, sorry. I'm the only person here that's made a blanket statement.
but what I'm getting at is that making a blanket statement like a 42 is too big or a 36 is too small. Really, it really does depend. You have to try the watch out, right? And a 36, I may have the same size wrist as somebody else, right? A 6 3/4 inch wrist, and I could be fine with a 42, but that person may not be fine with a 42. You know, all our wrists are not all the same. Some are flatter than others. Some are more rounder than others. Anyway, you know, you just have to try them on. You know, that's just the best way to figure it out.
What is that? The blanket avatar, Clive?
Yes, that's my blanket statement.
There you
go. But yeah, basically what I was getting at is I feel like Breitling did a great job with this new lineup, and I feel like they're correcting their brand a little bit, and you can actually go get these from the AD. I'm sure if they don't have them in stock, you'll probably be able to go and order one, and probably almost usually at a discount of at least, what would you say, like 15 to 20% off or more.
By the way, if you're reading the avatar and you're thinking, is that spelling what I think it is? Yes, it is. I kind of like, in a way, I kind of like it this way because it makes it a little bit more YouTube friendly. It implies rather than, yeah, but blanket statement. But it's not just blanket statements; it's almost repeated with the surety of dogma. That's what gets me mad, though.
Right.
And I think any of the recent Rolex releases in 36, I'm not a fan of super cases, but with the smaller Rolex watches, I think they worked rather well. I think when they did the super case on the 40s and larger, I think they looked a little silly, but smaller ones, I think they achieved their intended purpose. And a lot of people, and I've actually had a lot of people get with me with modern OP36s. And they said, this is a great watch. I don't think it's too small at all. And you can't argue with them. So, but
it's like that blue one. Didn't you have the blue one?
Yeah, the Blue Explorer. Jeez, 116000, I think. But in a lot of ways, I think Breitling doing that specifically as quote unquote unisex and women's, I think that's almost dooming that line of failure.
Yeah.
Well, and it always helps that, when their marketing campaign comes out, it always helps when you can go to the AD and the watches are there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about like the Breitling. Like I can go to my local Reeds and find one probably, because they're Breitling AD, but they probably don't have them in right now. Of course, they just came out, but they'll probably have them in like another month or two.
Yeah, I don't like don't get me wrong. I love Rolex, like the watches. That whole business, their current business model right now is just, pissing me off because not only do you have to bust your ass to save money to get the watch, but then, you got to go to the AD and then, then kiss some ass to hope that they put you on the list. I'm sorry. I'll just walk across the street to Omega and buy anything that I want.
Yeah.
So that's why I love that. I mean, any marketing campaign, I love that when you can go to the store and the watches are there.
Something I thought would be kind of interesting, though, like say, for instance, if you were getting engaged and you go into a Rolex AD, and this is just hypothetical, so bear with me. But what if say they had that Tiffany blue in 36 and 41? Now, do you think it'd be possible? Do you think it'd be a sort of thing where you could each get one in your own sizes, and like the watches kind of remind you almost like the horological version of wedding rings?
Yeah. Well, I've seen articles where they refer to the Rolex as the male engagement ring.
Right.
So, yeah, why not?
Nice. The other thing I wanted to bring up tonight too, I don't know if you guys saw, I know I talked to you a little bit about that, but I don't know if people in the comments have seen, I think Hodinky, of course, of all people, just released an article. It was in Bloomberg. I'm going to try to pull it up. Hopefully it doesn't freeze on me like it did with the other website. Like my computer doesn't want to work with doing multiple things for some reason. But it basically, they're reselling the Paul Newman Daytona at a Phillips auction. I believe it's a Phillips auction in December. I don't know if you guys saw that. And they're also selling the Tag Heuer, the Monaco that McQueen wore in the film Le Mans. They're selling both of those at the same auction. I don't know if you guys have seen those or not.
Did they say why the Paul Newman one is going on sale again?
No, I haven't seen it. They didn't say why. They just said what it sold for.
This is just a wild ass guess, and bear with me. It might have something to do with money.
No, I know, but I mean, I don't think I can't see whoever's putting it up for sale I can't see it selling for more than what he got it for. What was that? Like 17 million? I think he bought it for.
Here's what I would love. I would love for it to sell for less money.
I would too.
I'm thinking maybe that might put the brakes on Rolex just a little bit, because I think the current Rolex unavailability, I think a lot of it started with the news of the
There's a picture of both those watches too.
Well, is it the one that sold, the Paul Newman that sold the first time? It was a reverse. It was a Panda, wasn't it? It was a white dial with the black subdials.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is another one.
If it said it's the same one, but yeah, something we'll have to check out on the air. But I think, oh, and he's disappeared completely.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm totally used to this.
I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm back. It's just my computer acting up. Don't worry, I'm not bouncing you like some other people do.
Let me take this phone call real quick. I'll be back in 5 minutes. 35 minutes later. All right. But I think a lot of ways the unavailability, the Rolex going to super scarcity, I think a lot of that may have been. I think if it didn't coincide with the news of the Paul Newman Daytona sale, it may have actually been caused by it. I'm thinking maybe if it sells for less money and everyone talks about it, maybe might throw the brakes on it a little bit.
It might, or it might end up the way things are right now. It might end up selling for more.
I'd love that. I'd love the Steve McQueen, that Hoyer,
Monaco.
That Monaco. I would actually, that watch years ago. Before I got into watches and anything, I saw it and I was like, man, when Tag re-released it the very, very first time, and I thought it was nice. I look at them now and I'd still want one. It's just the price is a little high for me for it, but I think that one will sell for a high price. I don't think it'll get anywhere near where the Paul Newman one went for the first time.
That's another thing I was going to ask you guys. Do you think having the McQueen Heritage and Prestige that it might sell for a little more than the Rolex possibly? Because I feel like I feel like McQueen has a little more prestige than Newman, just a little bit maybe.
I don't think so. I think
you don't think so?
No, because the Paul Newman Daytona is like and look, to a certain extent, the Steve McQueen, but more so the Paul Newman is like legendary, right? Like even before I got into watches, I've heard about the Paul Newman Daytona, and it's Rolex,
Yeah.
So there is that pedigree there. So, I don't think it even comes close. But I like the Monaco better, no doubt about it.
Same here.
I would love to add a Monaco to my collection one day. It's not a priority, but one day, because I do like the shape. I do like what it stands for. I have this fantasy of going to Monaco wearing a Monaco. But the Newman, Paul Newman, I mean, although it'll fetch way more, it doesn't move the needle for me in any way. So,
yeah.
But it's not going to be close.
Like the Monaco. Like the Monaco, like I've tried on the Tag Heuer before, and that's one that I thought I wanted until I tried it on. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great looking watch, but it just didn't do anything for me when I tried it on. Now, I'm a big McQueen fan though. Like I've got almost all his movies and everything. I've read the book about him. So if I had a crap ton of money to buy that watch, I would probably still buy that watch just because it was McQueen's watch.
I'm also more of a Steve McQueen fan than I am a fan of Tag Heuer. So, like, if I had a crap ton of money, I'd buy more. Like, I know he was famous for wearing a sub, and then also I think it was an Explorer too, wasn't it? He used to wear.
No, that's false. It's a misconception.
That he wore the Explorer.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. I think they actually did prove that it was a misconception. And then they actually Hanhart. I think we looked at it the other day, Clive, on Flip and Zippo stream. Hanhart actually remade a chrono like he used to wear back in the day. It's actually not a bad looking chrono. Or was it? No, it wasn't. Was it yours, Bobby, with Amin that pulled it up?
Yeah, and we brought it up because it was one of the new releases. Or no, somebody had mentioned it, and then we pulled it up. Yeah, that's a beautiful watch. With the two registers.
My comments aren't loading up for some reason. So I'm not ignoring everybody's comments down here in the chat. It's just my computer's acting up right now.
I also think you're ignoring one vital difference between the two watches. The Newman was his personal watch.
What's that?
That's what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
The Newman was actually the Daytona was actually Paul Newman's personal watch. You know, he was gifted by his wife with a personal message. He wore that in his hobby of racing some hella fast cars. On the other hand, the McQueen Monaco was basically a movie prop.
Yeah.
He wore it for one movie. It wasn't his.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, and I think Steve McQueen's sub would go for more than this Tag Heuer. I know a lot of people are into movie props, and that's why I think it'll get a lot of money. I think it'll bring in a ton of money. I don't think it'll come close to the Newman. Even though like Bobby says, I think for me personally, I think it's a nicer watch.
Who do you think's actually buying these guys? Do you think it's actual collectors or investors?
I think people with so much money that they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Well,
Kevin O'Leary's and producer Michaels.
Yeah, probably. I think sometimes other celebrities too.
Yeah.
But what I'm wondering about is, do I think it'll go anywhere from what the Newman did or will go for it? No. But I'm wondering if it will do for Tag Heuer, what the Newman cell did for Rolex, or did for the 4-digit Daytonas.
Well, I mean, Tag's got unfortunately, because of it's almost hate in the enthusiast community, right? I mean, there's a lot of people who for better for worse hate them. I don't know why. They have a tougher hill to climb, right? Than I think than Rolex does. So
people like to hate on Tag, and
people like to hate on Tag for whatever reason, for whatever their reason is, and so I don't know if this McQueen Monaco going up for auction and potentially bringing in a lot of money does anything for a Tag. I don't know. I don't think it does.
Well, the reason why it's hated so much is that the Tag group took over the Heuer, which was a very well received, very well respected watch brand. Maybe not the most successful, and he's gone again. And they basically pimped it out, or they baptized it. They hoard it. They hoard that brand out.
Yeah.
And then they added the stupid Tag thing on it, which I think they should. I think their watches look cooler when they just have the Heuer logo.
Sorry, I had to reload my computer.
Yeah, we figured that out when you disappeared and you came back.
But what were you saying?
Well, I think part of it is that people are mad at Tag because Tag pulled some dick moves with Heuer when they first took it over. And, the Tag Heuer Link, for instance, they almost evolved into being more of a fashion brand than being a serious watch brand, I think. And also, even to this day, though, they still play hide the salami with some of their movements.
Right.
Yeah.
Even the Monaco reissue, it's a Salida movement that they've reworked with the module to make it work the same way as their original chronograph movement. And of course, despite that, they're still asking for basically top money for the watch.
Yeah.
That's kind of a dick move.
And does the Monaco reissue, the reissue says Tag Heuer on it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Didn't they also release like limited edition ones that didn't have it? Or
yeah, they had some that just said Heuer Monaco on it.
Okay, that's the one that I would, if I did buy one, like you, Bobby. I want to add one to my collection. It's just not a priority, and I think if and when I do, it would be that Monaco because I'm a Steve McQueen fan. But it wouldn't, even if I had the dough, I don't think it would drive me to purchase that one. But I do want one of them.
Now, Bobby, which one do you have again?
No, I don't have a Monaco. I desire a Monaco one day, but I don't actually have one. But I would go. I think it's a caliber 11, with the horizontal hour markers, and that's it, and Heuer Monaco on the dial.
Well, I think the smart money is to go vintage Heuer. But avoid the ones that avoid Carrera and avoid Octavia. You can get quote unquote a pre-Carrera for actually some pretty decent, for some reasonable money, I think.
The Monacles are low.
The
vintage Monacles are pretty expensive though. They're getting
the actual Heuers have gone up, haven't they?
Yeah,
the old ones.
I call Tag Heuer the airport watch, because any airport that you're at,
that's true.
There's a Tag Heuer AD.
Well, look, I mean, like in the '90s, man, the only two watches I knew in the '90s were Rolex and Tag Heuer, and Tag Heuer was everywhere, man, everywhere.
Well, I mean,
they killed it. They killed it marketing wise.
Yeah,
because the marketing, everybody you ask, if you ask them about watches, Tag Heuer is probably going to be one of the names they bring up.
Still to this day, I know a couple of dudes who are my age who are not watch enthusiasts, but when I talk to them about watches, they're like, "Oh yeah, man, I want a Tag Carrera."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and not just one, like maybe like 3 or 4 guys that I know. That's what, because they're still remembering the '90s when Tag was everywhere.
Plus, they were in the Bourne movies.
Oh, were they? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a big deal, back then too. That's what Jason Bourne. That's what Matt Damon wore in that movie.
And then I had the Aqua Racer. Remember that green dial I had a while back? I don't know if you ever saw that one or not, Bobby.
Yeah, I remember.
Actually, they're not a bad watch if you can get them at a decent price. They're like a decent little daily driver kind of watch, I guess. But I wouldn't pay like retail for them though.
Same here.
Black Woman Gamer, how's it going? She's asking, is the Heuer Pasadena any good? Do you guys know that one, Clive?
Not offhand.
Bobby or George, you guys know that one?
I haven't even heard of that one.
I hadn't either. That's one I hadn't heard of.
I'll look it up. It sounds familiar.
I looked up by the way, I looked up the Paul Newman Daytona, and the images that it brings up is the Panda, the white with the black dial. So I'm wondering if it's. I'd have to read the article. I mean, I don't know if you read.
Yeah, they said it was the same one that sold in 2017 when I read the article earlier. That was the one I tried pulling up before my computer messed up. Was the actual pictures of the Tag and the Daytona next to each other that were going up for auction. Because when I read through the article earlier, it said it was this. I'm pretty sure it was the same one that sold in 2017. So I'm with Clive. I kind of hope that it goes for a little bit less, or a lot less, really. So that'll help bring prices back down to reality a little bit, hopefully.
I just don't think that if you're putting something up for auction, well, I mean, let me take that back because I don't know what the financial situation of the person who owns it, but I would think that if most cases, if you're putting up something in the auction, like in an auction house or Hodinkee, whoever's doing the auction, and you kind of know that you're going to get more than what you paid for, unless you're bankrupt and you need to pay off some bills, which I guess could be a possibility. I don't see it going for lower. I mean, I like I said, I really don't care. But I just don't see it going for lower.
You know why I think, what's another reason that to kind of go back to the Steve McQueen, the Monaco, what recently went up for auction was the Mustang that he drove in Bullet. And I mean, that
went for
Mustang
a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I think that went for, I want to say $7 million. And to me, that was more iconic than the watch, because for a while, for a long time, you couldn't even, people didn't even know if the car still existed, where it was. It was almost mythical. And they brought it out of hiding when Ford re-released the most recent Bullet. And I thought that when the owner of that Mustang said he was gonna put it up for auction, I thought that it was gonna go for, stupid money. And when I say stupid money, I mean I thought it was gonna go for maybe 25 million, even 50 million, just because of the story that was behind it. And I was shocked that it went for, I want to say it went for $7 million. And
Orange Hand, by the way, sorry to interrupt you there, George. Orange Hand saying that it's not the same Paul Newman, so I was wrong on that. He said it's the watch that was on the cover of his Man in the Watch, not the Newman dial, but I'm pretty sure I read that it was the Newman watch in the article, though. I thought. Or maybe they were just calling it the Paul Newman Daytona and I misinterpreted.
Well, if Orange Hand's reporting is accurate, then it will not sell as much as the Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
so
not.
What is it? Another one of his? Is it another watch that he owned then?
I think they're just calling it the actual Paul Newman. It's just a reference to the actual watch then, right? If I was wrong about that.
So it's a Paul Newman, not the Paul Newman.
Not the Paul Newman. I was wrong about that then. I thought I read that it was the Paul Newman.
Now I want to read the article.
No, actually,
I wish I could pull it up, but my computer is being stupid.
No, it is actually the actual watch that belonged to Paul Newman, but the Paul Newman in this case is an accountant from Des Moines.
Paul Newman CPA.
Man.
It's actually my cousin Pablo Newman. That's whose watch it is.
Well, hello.
That's all right. I'll admit when I'm wrong. But either way, though, do you guys think it probably won't? What do you think it'll fetch then?
I have no idea.
Four digit. $1 million easy. $1 million easy.
I think I say 3. I say 3 million. And I think the Monaco will go for, I would say probably maybe the same. If it goes for more, it'll just be because it's Steve McQueen, and his name still brings a lot of dough.
And it was the actual watch. It was one of the actual watches of the movie. I think they had 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You think the same people that bought the actual Bullet car might end up buying the watch?
Maybe because they might have a whole Steve McQueen, memorabilia collection.
Urban Country saying Paul flew to Daytona with an Anakin.
Nice.
But yeah, I wish my computer wasn't acting up. Otherwise, I try to pull the article back up. But it's every time you see, I try to load up another page, it just slows me down.
I could see somebody like, what is it, John Mayer? I could see him like trying to buy something like that.
Or Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres is a big Daytona collector.
Oh, that's right.
She is.
Yeah, we are playing.
When she hadn't heard much.
We are playing Price is Right. Jason was saying if we were playing The Price is Right. The only difference is we're not going to get if we guess the price, we're not going to get the watch.
No, I know, right?
Dun 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 dun.
But yeah, that was basically only a couple things that I wanted to chat about tonight. Was I saw those articles pop up in the news feed today, so I figured chat about that. You guys got anything you want to chat about? Anything come to mind?
I've been in a selling mode lately, so I've been finding that selling or putting sales videos up in my channel have been working, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. But it's gone better than I thought because potential buyers, they get to see the watch. I don't have to send a million pictures via email. So I've been finding it helpful. So I've been in that selling kind of mode lately. So
nice. Jason's saying Ors. Didn't Ors just came out with their own in-house movement, didn't they?
Right.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Bark and Jack did a video about it. It's impressive. They came out with the diver with the new movement. I think they raised the price $1,000, and
yeah, it's super.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more than a lot of people had expected price wise.
Yeah. Ors, I feel like it's doing good things. That's still one of those brands, even if you've been around for a while and you collect the higher ends or the lower ends, it's like a brand that's respected by both, I feel like. Like a lot of people on the more affordable end can collect it, and then people on the higher end scale will collect it too.
I respect Ors, but they don't really do anything for me. So I get it. I get it why people like them. I just don't know. For me, it's not for me. I'm not sure why. I can't even pinpoint it. I just don't know what it is.
Okay. I had a couple Ors in. I had the Diver 65 is a really good looking watch. So I had that on loan from my buddy Sam a while back. That was actually one of the first videos I did was a Ors Diver 65 review. And then I own the Great Barrier Reef Aquas. It was a good looking watch, both of them. You got any Ors, Clive, or have you had any Ors?
What?
I was asking you if you got any Ors, or have you had any Ors, Clive?
I've got a vintage Ors pointer date, early '60s, I think, and tiny watch as was standard at that time, but because Ors at that time knew the value of this little thing called contrast, it's quite readable.
Okay.
I said on a previous stream that I like the. I said on a previous stream that I like the Roberto Clemente.
Mm-hmm.
That one I like. I like the Aquas. I just don't like the same. I have the same complaint that a million people do. I don't like the integrated bracelet.
See, that didn't really bother me that much on mine when I had it. And the rubber straps, I feel like that's one of the rare watches where you need to get the rubber strap over the bracelet. Just because I feel like the rubber strap's more comfortable than the bracelet on the Ors. This is personal opinion though. Yeah,
I like Ors though. I'm with Bobby though. It's really got to come out and I really got to love it to consider buying one. I think they're awesome watches.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're great.
I really like the Clemente.
Yeah.
Really that.
Yeah, I think I like a lot of their vintage stuff too.
The thing with the vintage is you got to watch out for the Franken watches a lot, though, don't you?
Yeah, they're copied a lot. Like, yeah, I mean, not copied, but there's a lot of Mumbai specials out there for those.
And Howdy from Texas is saying for the Oris price, why not get a Longines? They have so many options. I've got no personal experience with Longines, but I really like the brand. I've always wanted a Legend Dabber. You were talking about Longines before, weren't you, Clive?
Yeah, they have actually got a lot of good stuff out there. They've got heritage military watches are great. Of course, the Big Eye. And actually, Longines has like something like 5 freaking retrogrades on it. So, for astounding amounts of money. Of course, you don't want to buy underwear. You don't want to buy underwear used. You don't want to buy Longines new.
Now, is that one of those brands? Like, I think I would feel buying Longines comfortably, like off of like Joma Shop, if they have it in stock. Would you, considering their prices, just because they have? Don't they have? They have what, the Edda movement?
Yeah. Well, but keep in mind though, like the Master Collection Moon Phase Retrograde, that's not exactly. It's not leader ETA, but I think it's specifically made for them by Swatch.
And then Clam Walker is asking, what's the service interval? I'm assuming he means for the Oris, the new one. Did you guys catch that? If what the service interval for those watches are? I didn't. I didn't see that.
Oh, and if you go up one, someone's reminding me that I used to call that Longines the brown eye.
I saw that.
Until I actually laid fist on one, and actually it's a really hell of an attractive little watch, especially for a couple of $1,000. Chris, I'm sorry, I don't know what it is. I'm just fading fast all of a sudden.
You're good, bud. I'll see you next time, man.
All right, thanks for having me
on, guys.
Thanks
for coming on.
All right,
you guys. Let's see.
Yeah, Chris, I think I'm done for the night too. The boy woke me up at 5 a.m. this morning. So
make for an early day. I appreciate you guys coming on, man. I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night. This is we're rolling up about 15 minutes there, guys. If you guys
awesome, man. Anytime.
Ready to call it. I appreciate you guys coming on, and thanks for everybody you join us in the comments, guys. Sorry my computer wasn't cooperating, getting a little slow there.
Yeah, it was all good.
I'll catch you guys next time. Later.
Good night, guys.
Later, man.
All right, later.